Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the Town Manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, for our very first episode of Real Talk with the Town. And today we're just going to do a little bit of an intro about why we're here. And in short, it really boils down to trying to make sure that we get out accurate information to the community. Sometimes there's rumors floating around out there. Sometimes there's inaccurate information. And we want to make sure that we get the right information to our community so that you're operating all from the same sheet of music. So today, to just kind of start things off so you get an idea of who we are, what we do, and why we do it, we're going to talk a little bit about our culture, about our mission, and about our vision. So I'll take a few minutes talking about that. We won't spend a lot of time on it, and then we'll get into some of the main topics for discussion in following episodes and of our podcast. So to start off with, we recently did a strategic planning session. We spent quite a bit of time, really close to about a year, to put together our strategic plan. And we came up with a new vision and, for the first time, a mission. Things that are really important for this organization because, as the old proverb says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And so we worked with the council, we worked with town staff to develop our mission and our vision. And the vision very quickly is Marana is a trailblazing community that raises the bar for the best quality of life. And when you think about trailblazers, you certainly think about the Town of Marana, a group of people who certainly have been in the farming industry, in the rodeo industry, just good people doing good work and not sitting around waiting for things to happen, but actually setting about to make things happen and to set the stage for the very best government services that you can find. And that's our desire. Our vision is to continually raise the bar for our communities so that you have the opportunity to live in the very best community in all of Arizona. And then the other thing is our mission. So vision is where we're going, and mission is how we get there. And the mission is very simple. Everybody can remember our mission because we kept it super short. It just says 5-star service for a thriving community. Now, when you think about 5-star service, what do you think of? I think everybody kind of has an idea of what 5-star service means. And you've probably been to a resort or to a restaurant that was 5-star, and you just got a great meal. You got incredible service. And when you're done there, you wanted to go on Yelp and just give them 5 stars. And that's what we're striving for here at the Town of Marana, to provide 5-star government services. Now, some people may not know this, but this is a little tidbit, little factoid for y'all, and that is that Marana has the only 5-star resort in all of Arizona, in the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, that's right. So we not only want to have the only 5-star resort in all of Arizona, we want to be the only 5-star entity, 5-star government entity in all of Arizona. So we're striving real hard to make sure that when you interact with a member of our staff, you're seeking out our services, that we provide 5-star service. And we want to know about it. We want to hear about it when we get it right. And we also want to hear about it when we fall short so that we can work to improve on that. So that's the mission and the vision. The values we've actually had in place for quite some time, and things that we emphasize all the time here at the Town of Marana. You'll see them not only on the walls, but you'll hear people talk about them. And we reward, point to it, recognize it when we get it right, and call it out when we get it wrong. And our values are very simply dedicated service, which goes hand in hand with that 5-star service, respect, teamwork, and engaged innovation. So those 4 values for the town. And this year in the strategic planning process, we've always had focus areas, right? Those areas that are really going to be kind of the impetus for the various strategies and objectives and goals that we're going to set about accomplishing. And this year, we kind of added a little, some descriptors to some and changed some up a little bit. Now, heritage has always been a focus area for the town. but we added an adjective to describe really the importance and value of heritage to us, and it is one of the focus areas for us is cherished heritage. If you spend any time with our Mayor Ed Honey, you will know that the heritage of our community is highly, highly important to him, but to our entire community. So we spend a lot of time focusing on it. We have an entire park called the Heritage Park, and so that's going to continue to be a focus for us as we continue to make sure that we point to the heritage of our community, how we got to where we're at, and the strength of really what makes this community special and unique. Next is vibrant community. Before it was just community, right? So it's important that we focus on community, but what is it that we're really trying to focus on? And it's a vibrant community. Also, there's commerce, thriving commerce, not just commerce, but thriving commerce. We want businesses to come into our community, small businesses, large businesses, businesses of all shapes and sizes, home businesses, whatever the case may be, and we want those businesses to just do outstanding work here and to be able to serve our community with the businesses that they start up. And then, of course, something that's always important, I think, to people in any community is it used to be Parks and Rec, right? But we changed it to be a little bit more all-encompassing, and it's healthy lifestyles. So we want to create and focus on healthy lifestyles. That certainly involves Parks and Rec, but Parks and Recreation is just a part of ensuring that we have healthy lifestyles as a focus. And then the last thing is proactive public services. It's really important to this organization. We talk about it all the time, making sure that we are providing a level of service, being proactive, not being a government that's difficult to deal with. And I think that's kind of the mindset that people get when they deal with government. Government's so difficult, man. No one gets excited about, hey, man, I get to go down to MVD this weekend. I get to deal with the IRS. No, it's not something that's enjoyable. And we want it to be enjoyable when you work with the Town of Marana, with the people of the Town of Marana. We have great employees here. We work really hard to make sure that we're hiring for character and training for competence, hiring for attitude and training for aptitude to make sure we get the right people in the right seats here in this organization to serve you the very best we can. All right, so now that you've heard a little bit about the town as a whole, kind of our mission, our vision, our values, what's important to us, I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes talking with you about me as the town manager. How in the world and why in the world am I doing a podcast, and why am I in public service to begin with, right? So I tell you, I've been in public service now for about 36 years. I actually started as a community service officer. I don't know if you know what that is or not, but I worked with the Grand Rapids Police Department for about a year, searching desperately to become a police officer. My dad was a cop for 30 years, so I was actually in public service before I was even born, right? And so grew up in it. My dad was a cop my whole life, 30 years, as I said, and so just always had a real passion for it, and went to school, got my degree in criminal justice, knew I wanted to be a cop, and started hunting for a job, and eventually, it's kind of a long story, but I landed in Tucson, Arizona as a police officer back in 1987. And I served there for 24 years, working on a lot of different assignments there. And after 24 years, I left there as an assistant police chief to come over to the town of Marana. They had an opening for their police chief, and I lived in Marana at that point for about 20 years. And I thought, man, I've always wanted to be the police chief for the town that I lived in. And so I applied, and lo and behold, I got the job, and without a doubt, one of the best decisions I ever made. As I look back on it, those first couple of years were really tough. The first 2 or 3 years were tough, but I grew to love this community. I grew to love the organization and the people in it. And I always had this vision in my mind of what a police department was supposed to be. I always had this ideal police department and the ideal police officer, and how a community was supposed to be policed, and how a community was supposed to be treated by the police officers in any given community. And so I came here with that ideal, and we worked really hard with a lot of different people to implement that. And we we put into practice a mission of providing unparalleled police services and unwavering protection to every person in the town of Marana, to do so with uncompromised integrity. And that mission means something to that department. And I was a part of that organization, the police department, for 10 years as the police chief. And one day, a council member called me and asked me if I was interested in doing a different job for the town, working as the town manager. And I had to tell you, I wasn't interested at all. But, again, that's kind of a long story. But after a little bit of time sitting in the seat as the interim, I decided I really enjoyed it. And the things that we worked on over at the police department, I really wanted to implement and integrate into the rest of the organization. And that is just really providing a level of service to our community that blows people's minds, where they just walk away going, holy cow, those are some compassionate, caring, helpful, professional people over there at the Town of Marana. And that's really what I hope that people in this community walk away with when they talk to people from the Town of Marana, our staff. So we, like I said earlier, we put a lot of emphasis on who we hire and bring into the organization. We're not necessarily looking for the person who has 185 IQ. We're looking for people who really care about other people, who genuinely have a heart to want to serve and take care of other people, who have great character, who have great attitudes, the kind of people that, quite frankly, you just enjoy being around. And that's what we focus on here in bringing into this organization. And I think it makes a huge difference, and we'll continue to strive to do that. And I'm so grateful. We have an amazing group of staff, amazing department heads and line level staff from top to bottom. And we'll continue to work hard to make sure we provide that great level of service to y'all. So that's it for me today. Enjoyed talking with you. Until next time. Submit your questions by visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk, and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, please follow the town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.